guys. I'm getting a little emotional about these Mandela effects because I don't know. Stuff keeps changing and I don't know how to handle it. So I just had another person hit me up. I'm looking really bad today. I'm sorry. I'm at home. I read this book in high school, people, and I thought it's so weird because of the title. This is one of, I guess, my favorite villains, I guess, if you can say, is Dorian Gray. It's a guy who sells his soul to the devil so he can stay beautiful forever. I mean, one guy would not want that. Anyway, the book that I read in high school was called The Portrait of Dorian Gray. There was a movie later on called The Picture of Dorian Gray, which was in the 80s, which starred a woman. The Portrait of Dorian Gray was weird to me because it said portrait. Portrait. And I thought, oh my god, that is so British of them to say portrait. The Portrait of Dorian Gray. I distinctly remember thinking, why would they just say portrait? It's a painting. You know, why not the painting of Dorian Gray? The Portrait of Dorian Gray. It just sounded very British to me. I remember thinking about that. The Portrait of Dorian Gray does not exist at all in this reality. The book is called The Picture of Dorian Gray. As a matter of fact, the movie in the 80s is called The Sins of Dorian Gray. I saw that movie. I do not remember it being called The Sins of Dorian Gray. I remember it being very similar to the book, and it was The Picture of Dorian Gray. I remember it was so close to the book, I was like, oh, wait, The Picture of Dorian Gray and The Portrait of Dorian Gray. The Picture of Dorian Gray was the movie. The Portrait of Dorian Gray was the book. And I was like, okay, I don't want to get them mixed up. The Picture of Dorian Gray was with the woman, and The Portrait of Dorian Gray was the book. I remember telling myself that. I was like, okay, I don't want to get them mixed up because I got to do book reports and shit. So the movie in the 80s, which stars a woman, is now called The Sins of Dorian Gray. And the book is called The Picture of Dorian Gray. And there is no such thing at all in this timeline or this reality called The Portrait of Dorian Gray. Why am I upset? I'm upset because just like the Berenstain Bears and like everything else, it's like a history that I grew up with has just disappeared. I don't even know what reality I live in anymore. I don't trust this world. It's just fucking crazy. When you try to tell people, there's nobody in my common. Well, there's a couple of people I've talked to, and they believe me. But this is fucking crazy. What the fuck is going on? I do have my suspect, you know. And you guys, every time I try to just be normal and just like, okay, let me. You guys keep pulling me right back in, and you know. Thank you. I thank you to everyone who's sending me all your Mandela facts and stuff. It's really upsetting me. I don't know what to do now. I'm trying to keep cool. I'm gonna try to keep cool about it. I just feel like my whole history, the history that I grew up in, is being erased. I don't like that feeling. I'm trying to figure out this world in Picture Think about it later. Leave me a comment because if you don't do it, then I will.